Hey guys, welcome to the second video of the series creating a bot army, a robo army. Right. So this seems daunting, but it's not actually that hard. So first of all, let's look at the final product, what the task is. Basically, you can see over here there's this input and there is a generate robot button, and I can legit write any text, and what that text is gonna do is gonna call an API. You can check over here, this is the API, and this is a API which will return you an image of a random robot based on the text you give. So you can give any text and it'll give you a robot corresponding to that text. Like for example, let's go Shah Rukh Khan, right? And we generate it, and as you can see, there you go. So you can see my net's a little slow, so it's taking time to load, but as you can see, you can it generates a robot, and this is basically what we are building. And then we also need an ability that, for example, I don't like Shah Rukh Khan, so I love him. uh, so you can just click on it and it's removed from your robo army, right? So that is basically what you are gonna create. This is the final product. Now I'll just switch to the browser, which is our current live demo. Okay, and this is the basic component, build robo army. Okay, and now let's get to it. So we'll break this thing down. First of all, what we should do is we should create a input field, right, that accepts strings. So let's do that. Div, and we have an input, right? Type text, value, we can say we'll have to give it robo name, and on change we'll basically have to set robo name as, so you take E from here. E is the event that gets generated, and you just do E dot target dot value. You just do target, not current target. Okay, target dot value. And now if you know React, which I am suggesting that you only go forward to with this video. If you know React, these are videos to help you clear interview challenges. So if you don't know the basic of React, I want you to go and check out another video. There are tons of nice videos in different channels that you can go and browse, learn about React, and then come back when you're ready to give an interview to a company to get a job, right? So this videos are going to help you get a job. Okay, so those who know, they know that these two basically means I'm going to be using a hook, a React hook called useState. Okay, so const robo name and set robo name equal to useState. Oops, sorry. And we have to give it a default value as such, so let's keep it empty. Of course you can So if you hover over here, there's a quick fix. It's not showing the quick fix. That's uh, help me. Okay, you basically have to import use state from React, right? So now it's fine. So now when I save this, you see I have my uh, input field and it's working. Now there is something that you need to remember. If you see, I have given value and I have given on change, right? So this is basically creating a two-way binding with the input, right? If I, for example, I remove on change, right? And now when I do, you see, no matter what I type, nothing gets printed. That is because the value of robo name is not getting changed, right? So that's an extremely important thing to take care when you are doing an input in React, that you create this two-way bindings. Okay, let's get back. And so we have this ready. We have our on change. We have our. We need to create a button which will generate the robot, right? So how about, oops, sorry, button button generate robo. Okay, so we have the button. Let the CSS be ugly. It's okay. It's not important. Mostly they are checking your React skills in these interviews. Okay, now on click, when I click this robot, generate robot, what I want to do basically is add, like call the API, right? This is the API. So I need to call the API. So for that, what I'll do is I'll give this an on click method. So on click, what I want is, let's say generate robot is our function, right? So we do this. Now, of course, we haven't created it. So let's do that. Generate robot, open and close. Uh-huh. Now, um, now here's another important thing that you have to remember, that since we are displaying a list of images, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Am I making some mistake? Equal to? Huh. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, so what you got to remember over here is you need a list to display all the images, because you need to store the previously entered images, right? So let's go ahead and create an array. So let's call this our army list, and we I assume now you are familiar, and initially what we do is we give it an empty array, right? Now we have done this, but we also need to create, we need to display it, right? And because it's a list, and if you have watched my uh, other video, you would know that a list needs to be displayed by iteration. So how do we do it? We do it via map function. So let's say we have army list dot map. Okay, so when you write JavaScript inside JSX, first curly braces, army list dot map, right? And now we're going to take two things out of it. One is the value and the other is index. The index is just for the key purpose, value, an index, right? And this map function accepts a callback function, right? So you are creating a callback function over here. Again, if you don't know what a callback function is, I recommend you to go check out a JavaScript video. It's not currently on my channel. I will definitely put out these content, but right now my focus is to create videos that will help you get a job, that will help you clear a job interview, right? So in that prospect, when we look at this, oops, sorry. Okay, so in that, now what all we have to do is we have to return an image tag. Oops, img, oh ho ho, img. Okay, and the source obviously will be so we have this much is a constant, right? Only the last part is changing, so we are not going to add the entire uh, repetitively in the array the entire URL, right? So what we're going to do over here is we are going to use backticks, and then so backticks helps you add variables inside a string, and then what will be the variable over here? The variable will be value. So we have added that, and this would basically render the image that it returns from this source, right? And of course, because we are creating a list, we have to add key. This is a basic React assumption. The algorithm that runs renders React assumes that every list element will have a unique ID. Generally, I don't recommend using index. I recommend using a unique key from the data. So a unique key from our army list is something that you should generally use, but just for the demonstration purposes, we're using index over here. Okay, so now we have done this. What we haven't done is the generate robot does not do anything. So even if I right now say fa la 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 and I create on generate, nothing happens, right? Because the generate button does not do anything. So now let's create that. So what we want to do is we basically want to add this string to generate robot. So how do we do that? Now let's say we do set army list open, and what we're going to do is we're going to pass the value that we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass an array because it accepts an array, and we're going to take the older array, right? So it's dot 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 army list. So this is the existing array. Dot 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 basically spreads it, so this new array won't have army list as an array, but it will have all the array elements inside, right? So it spreads the array, it opens it up. Okay, and then we also have the new value. So the new value right now is robo name, right? We do that, save, and then there is another important thing. Now this is something which is a UI specific thing, and when you do these things in interview, people notice it. It's not necessary you have to do unless they ask you to, but if you do it and if you tell them that you're doing this for this particular purpose, they'll be highly impressed. And in this case, for example, after you press the generate robot button, you would ideally want to clear the input field, right? So that means you would want to set robo name to an empty string. right? You do this, and now let's check how's our app doing. So how about we call this mm, Facebook? Okay, we generate. Oh, we have one. Awesome. How about another one? Um, Twitter. Oh, there you go. That's Elon Musk. Kidding. I love him. Okay. Let's see. So we have it. The functionality is working. I know the UI is fucked up, but it's very easy to actually sort it. You just need to create a either you create a div or you just create like add a. See, if you create a div over here and then put this entire thing inside, it will solve the UI issue. So it's not a big deal. Uh, and you like these are basic things that you should know if you're trying to apply for a front end developer job. Anyway, we are not covering those things over here. So let's come back over here. One thing that is missing is on click, it is not getting deleted, right? So that is one part that's left. Now, how do we do that? Let's first of all, at the top of the head, what do we have to do? We are clicking on the image, right? We're clicking on the image. So what React attribute is going to help? On click, on click, on click what? On click the image. So I on click the image, right? And what we do is we take the wait a minute. So what we do over here is we remove robo. Let's create a function called remove robo, and we also pass in the value over here, right? Why do we do that? That is because hmm, hmm, because it's showing an error because remove robo is still not created. So we'll create that, but the basic idea of adding a value over here is so that when I click on a particular image, I know which one to remove, right? So that is the basic and essence over here. Const remove robo, and let's see. Um, we will have the robo name, but let's not call it robo name. How about we call it robo to be removed? It's just an example, so I can give these big variable names and all. I think the hardest part in development is naming variables. It's terrible. Anyways, so we have robo to be removed. Now, how do you think we're going to remove this? Well, the simplest way would be to use a method inside the array in JavaScript, right? So there is a method called filter. So if I, for example, take any array, in our case, army list dot, as you see, the filter method comes in, right? And you can see filter method. So what basically this filter method will do is it again accepts a callback function. We take value, or let's say robo, right? And what this filter function will do is every time it gets a true, like you pass in, you return true for every element that you return true, it is going to keep it, and for every element that you return false, it's going to remove it, right? So in this case, army list dot filter robo not equal to robo to be removed. So in all cases where these two are not equal, this statement is going to be true, and so it gonna this army list is going to stay. Right. Now you have to remember that you can't actually modify the army list on its own. Right. There is a method over here called set army list, which is what we're supposed to use. Correct. So what we do then is we create, let's say, let new army equal, and we have this because this function is going to return us the new array without that one robo that is removed, right? So let new army equal, and then what we do is we set the army list as our new army. Right. Now we save it over here, and now let's hope this works. And oh, it does. How, what, anything? Give me a name. Apple. Yeah. Ooh. Somehow elegance. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. iPhone. iPhone. Oops. Mm. And okay. Apple's elegance does not extend to the iPhone. Yeah. And you tap on it and it goes away, and beautiful. That's it. That's the solution, and I hope you guys had fun understanding this, learning this. I'll be putting out a lot more videos, and I'll increase the frequency as well. um, Let me know if you like it, if you see it. Just knowing that it's reaching you will encourage me. The whole idea over here is to create videos that will help get more people jobs in the tech industry, help them crack these coding challenges, uh, and yeah, just succeed in life. Like, I know how good developers just get stuck in this interview rounds, and they don't get bigger opportunities, and I just don't want that to happen to anybody, and I just want to help out as much as I can. So that's about it, as my favorite YouTuber does. Peace out.